and welcome to your short grounding meditation practice. So take a few moments here to settle into a comfortable and upright seated position. And you have lots of options here. You're welcome to sit on a chair with your feet on the floor. You could sit in a cross-legged seat or a kneeling position, even up against a wall. Give yourself some time and some space to move towards relative comfort and stability in a seat of your choice right now. Meeting yourself with a sense of patience and welcoming. So there's no need to rush, and there's no need to hurry up and relax. And you might observe that little movements are necessary to help you find comfort. So maybe you're rocking a little bit side to side or forward and back. And all of that is welcome, but in your own time, when you feel ready, allow yourself to settle into stillness. Noticing where you are supported in your seat. Noticing where your sitting bones and your hips are connected to a surface. And really try to let there be a full surrender of your weight, a full heaviness as you feel nice and dense, nice and rooted and held. You might notice your feet are connected to the earth, maybe parts of your legs, your ankles. Depending on your seat, you might have various points of contact, so take a moment to notice all the ways that you are being held and supported here physically in your seat. Noticing if perhaps you're holding in or holding back or resisting gravity, resisting that support. And even if it's just 1% more, allow yourself to be fully held. Allow muscles of your legs to soften around the bones. You could even imagine that you have a weighted blanket draped over the lower body, offering warmth, comfort, as if some of the hard edges could begin to soften and take root. And from this connection of the lower body, this stability, this rooting, allow your spine to have a bit more length. Perhaps you can imagine yourself getting an inch or so taller. In contrast to the density and the heaviness of your lower body, feel the area around your spine quite buoyant and bright. There's a sense of lift and spaciousness. Feel the crown of your head as if it is magnetically attracted to the ceiling, having this effortless lift. And you might even imagine the space between each and every vertebra of your spine getting a little bit bigger. Right? A little more traction between the vertebra of the spine, a little more brightness, lift, and buoyancy. And begin to find your breath if you haven't already. Noticing the companionship of your breath in this moment and every moment. But beginning to deepen the breath, beginning to lengthen and smoothen out the breath without adding any extra effort to your seat. Rather than controlling your breath or changing your breath, allow the breath to rediscover its innate fullness. The body knows how to breathe, and see if you can take a step back and give the body permission to receive and release the breath fully. And typically, this is a practice of actually letting go. Of letting go of the belly, letting the belly have freedom. Of letting go of excess holding or tension, maybe around the jaw, neck, upper back. And this process of deepening and lengthening the breath is, in fact, a process that takes time. So at first the breath might be a little choppy or a little sticky. It might get stuck. But breath by breath, allow the breath to deepen and smoothen, almost like you could gloss over some of the sharper or bumpy edges. And let the mind get truly absorbed in this mundane yet extraordinary act of breathing. Something you're doing all day. But when you give the power of your mind to the experience of the breath, we begin to find ourselves truly participating in the present moment. You might find yourself more awake and alert and alive to the full experience of the body, sensations, observations. Giving the mind one thing to observe, and that's the breath. Allow the mind to watch the inhale traveling in through your nose. Watch the inhale descend all the way down to your belly, maybe even your low back and your waist. And the mind watches and observes the exhale as it travels up the abdomen and out through the nose. Once again. Mind watching the inhale enter the body. And mind witnessing the exhale as the air leaves the body. And do that over and over and over. See if there's something you can get fascinated with. See if the breath can slow down so much and the mind can be present to all the little details, the subtleties, the nuances that otherwise we're moving too quickly to notice. And it's likely that you've already bumped into some distractions. Maybe some thoughts have come up. Maybe the body is a little restless, fidgety. That's completely okay and completely normal in a world that moves as quickly as ours, a world that is demanding of our attention. Typically, we're doing 10 things at once. And here you are, just doing one thing. This one thing is a practice. So if you find that you've wandered down a path of thought or distraction, no drama, no problem at all. Just come back to your next breath and let the mind get reabsorbed in the experience of the body breathing. The expansive, uplifting quality of the inhales, the grounding, the softening qualities of the exhales. The breath is always here to welcome you back from wherever you've gone. Notice if your posture has wilted. Maybe you can get a little taller, reconnect with the crown of the head moving towards the ceiling, while allowing your legs to be fully relaxed, heavy, comfortable, and rooted. Allowing your breath to mediate all the space between your rooted seat, your lengthening crown. Continue for as long as time permits. Simply sitting, breathing, and watching the body breathe. If you notice tension in your body, allow it to soften away. If you notice distractions of the mind, give yourself some patience and compassion and return to your body breathing.